Uh-oh. Oh, God. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Sean Arnold, and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Online Ranked Duels. Today is going to be a start of a, well, it's supposed to be the start of a brand new week, the week of MADOLCHE. I'm learning a new deck here, and who am I trying out against first? None other than the champ himself, Namek 1979. For those who don't know, Namek is the #1 ranked duelist on Yu-Gi-Oh! Online Ranked Duels. I had a whole lot of fun playing against him in the past. I have a couple of videos of that if you guys want to go check those out on the channel. And it was a good duel against him. I really wish I wasn't playing against him for the purpose. Hang on.
Hey Arnold, you have a good game, my friend. Good luck.
I'm going to try, Namek. I'm going to try. I really wish I was playing against him when I was trying a brand new deck out, and his deck is really good, assuming that he's playing the same Yangzing deck as he used to play before. But okay, we'll have to do what we can. Anyway, I decided to try out MADOLCHE'S because they're a deck I never really tried before, I never really respected before. I always thought they were just a bit gimmicky, and they are a little gimmicky, but they are a really fun deck to play. From what I've seen so far, and what I'm trying out here is a particular variant which also allows me to do some synchro summons. So let's see if I can get anything going against Namek 1979 here, who has set down 2 face down cards and 1 face down monster on the field. Now I've drawn into Dark Hole. Now if he's playing Yangzing's, Dark Hole is a dead card. It's not going to be any good against Yangzing's whatsoever, because Yangzing's all have this gimmick of special summoning monsters from their deck when they are sent to the graveyard, and that's really frustrating to deal with, or it's really hard to stop them going for the deck, and it's a real grind to get through Yangzing's. You really need something which will stop their special summoning or stop their effects activating in the graveyard, and my MADOLCHE deck doesn't really have that. I have Abyss Dweller and Berserk in my extra deck, but it means I have to go get those out first, and it's up to him to let him do that. So first I'm starting off with playing MADOLCHE and Mew Fuel, and Namek has responded with Venus Chain. This is one of the weaknesses of MADOLCHE'S, is that if you stop their combos on swarming the field at one step or another, it typically kind of just stuns them and stops the whole thing from going. I'm using a Royal Decree variant, so hopefully I could draw into Royal Decree. I have 3 Decrees and 3 MSTs, so hopefully that will help me mitigate some of the back row issues or back row problems that a deck like Namek's will try to be running, but I have to draw into them first. Anyway, now MADOLCHE and Mew Fuel's effect did manage to go off thanks to my Forbidden Lance, and I managed to special summon MADOLCHE Angeli. Angeli allows me to tribute herself to special summon 1 MADOLCHE monster except Angeli from my deck. I've gone for MADOLCHE Hoot Cake, which is one of the best monsters in the deck, and when MADOLCHE Hoot Cake is brought to the field, you can banish 1 card from your graveyard, one monster from your graveyard, and then special summon 1 MADOLCHE monster from your deck. And I will now go into Messengelato. Messengelato, when special summoned, allows me to search out a MADOLCHE spell or trap card from my deck. And there's only a few that I run. I run 2 copies of the field spell card and 1 copy of Ticket. MADOLCHE Ticket is a searcher. MADOLCHE Chateau is a buffer, and also allows me to recycle monsters that get sent to the graveyard. The gimmick with MADOLCHE'S is that whenever they're sent to the graveyard or destroyed by a card effect that's sent to the graveyard, or by battle and sent to the graveyard, they send themselves back to the main deck, which typically speaking, it's a bad idea to stack your deck more and more, because you want things out of your deck. You want them in the graveyard, you want them on the field, you want them in your hand so you can actually use them. In your deck, they're kind of just buried there, they kind of sit there doing nothing. But MADOLCHE'S really make this work because they have a lot of good searching tools and good ways to get monsters out of the deck quite quickly. I've gone into now summoning Levear the Sea Dragon, and Levear the Sea Dragon allows me to detach 1 monster, 1 material, and then special summon 1 monster from my deck, from my banish pile to the field. Now the thing that really attracts me to MADOLCHE'S is they have the best, in my opinion, easily, maybe tied with Satellite Knights, but they have the best rank 4 monster in the game in my personal opinion, and that is MADOLCHE Queen Tiramisu. Now unfortunately I'm not going to be able to use her effect there because Namek has used compulsory evacuation device, but Tiramisu is such a good card. She's a monster which has an effect of recycling up to 2 MADOLCHE cards from your graveyard to your deck, and then she can shuffle 2 cards from your opponent's field to their deck. The best thing about this effect is that it's not a targeted effect. It's considered that even though you're choosing the monsters, it's not considered as targeted, so it's really easy for clearing out the field. Unfortunately, a single compulsory evacuation device was enough to deal with her, and there's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do this turn. Also, now I'm kind of set up in a bad way. I have Hoot Cake and Message Gelato in my hand. Hoot Cake's not too bad to have in my hand, but all my MADOLCHE cards are not in my graveyard anymore. They're in my deck because of MADOLCHE Chateau, and so I'm not going to be able to use Hoot Cake's effect. And Message Gelato only activates when you 1 have a beast card on the field, and 2 you special summon it. So meaning I can't really use it whatsoever. And this is the kind of downside with MADOLCHE'S. They just really don't have a lot of good combo. When you mess up their combos, they really just kind of fall apart. But I may, through doing testing, I may switch to more of a grindy build with this, more of a stun focus, maybe on shutting down special summons, as opposed to going for OTKs, which the deck is very, very capable of doing. But it's a really fun deck. I really do actually enjoy playing MADOLCHE'S. I really want to see what this is like in the modern era of Yugioh, and maybe try it on Dev Pro sometime. But for the time being, I'm just doing some testing on Legacy of the Duelist, and I've got a whole week of good fun videos for you guys to see, so hopefully you guys will look forward to that. Anyway, Namek has set more cards out of the field, and I've managed to draw into Stat Steel. At this point, there's nothing I can really do too well, so I'm just going to have to really start making fun into the graveyard. Or I could possibly, maybe, I don't know, it's really hard to say, because if he's playing his Yangzing deck, then I don't really want to destroy his cards. That just starts all his combos. It might be better for me just to chill out for a bit. Namek also turns over Skill Drain, which is still at 3 in the Legacy of the Duelist environment. This is what makes Yangzing so difficult to deal with. Yangzings are monsters which most of their effects actually activate in the graveyard, except for say the Synchro monsters that they have. But all of their effects activate in the graveyard, and so they're not affected by things like Skill Drain. Then they can just special summon each other and recycle themselves really well. On top of that, certain Yangzings such as Bixie, who you probably will see, make their synchro summons immune to trap effects, so they're not affected by things like Skill Drain. It's a really deadly combo. It was a real hard time. I had a real hard time trying to fight against this back in I think it was back in May I last played against Namek, maybe earlier than that, maybe even March. It was really early in the year, and yeah, it was a real grind. And I had to use a lot of effects like Vanity's Emptiness, a lot of Floodgate cards to kind of just shut him down. I don't really have those with me right now though, which is a shame. I really do kind of wish Ranked in this game had match options, and that way I could be able to, what was I thinking? I could be able to use a side deck against certain people. Anywho, Namek has summoned Herald of the Arc Light. Herald of the Arc Light is a level 4 synchro monster which can basically negate anything. You can tribute this card, and if anything's activated, you can just negate it. Any monster effect, any spell or trap effect, it's going to be done. So I have to find a way to get rid of around Herald, and then I need to find a way to destroy Skill Drain, because my deck is really susceptible to Skill Drain. So let's try attacking it. Let's see if I can destroy it by battle. That would be good if I could. Although Namek might have like another Phoenix Chain or something. Oh, but little did I realize that he's used a different Yangtze monster. This is a Beyond, I believe. Beyond makes it so that the synchro monster that they choose is not destroyed by battle. So I didn't realize that at the time. So Herald of Arc Light is a monster now which can kind of negate everything, and it can't be destroyed by a battle. That really sucks. So how am I going to get rid of this? How am I going to get around this kind of setup? Well, I'm not going to do anything right now. I'm going to wait until my next turn so that I can at least attack on the turn I start trying to get rid of these threats before he starts setting up his field again. Now, Namek decides to play MST and you target Chateau. That's not too bad. I think Chateau's a good card, but I'm not thinking it's as good. Well, it's okay, but it's good for a little attack boost and recycling certain monsters to your hand again. But I'm not totally sold on how good Chateau is. Maybe I'm missing something here. I guess it could be good to recycle cards like maybe Mew Fuel, but for possibly Hoot Cake, I guess, if it gets destroyed. But most of the time, I use it for rank material, so it doesn't really get affected by Chateau. And I guess maybe because it shuffles monsters back into your deck, but really, I don't really find Chateau to be too great. But I'll test it out more and see how it goes. Now, I want to try and get rid of Herald, so I'm going to play Snatch Steel. Namek's going to have no choice but to tribute it, so I don't manage to steal it. Sit down Dark Holes to see if I can bait out anything from my opponent. And is there anything I can really do this turn? There's no point me attacking. Really isn't. Okay. I don't really know what I'm going to be able to do here. I need to find a way maybe to get Dweller out of the field, maybe. But I really don't have the options to kind of stop a Yangzing deck. Now, it is a new card that I've never seen before. Nefarious Archfiend, I believe. And now he's flipped summoning all of his monsters. He's flipped summoned Xiaotu, and I think that was Bixie as well. Yep, Bixie. Is he going to go into a Synchro Summon? We'll soon find out. Nefarious Archfiend of Nefariousness. Nefarious Archfiend of Nefariousness is a fun card. You're going to see a cool little combo probably with this in a second. Namek now summons out BLs, and BLs, because it was synchro summoned by cards like Bixie, it's not going to be affected by skill drain. So now he's got a monster out in the field which cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and cannot be affected by traps either. That's going to be really, really hard to get around. A really, really frustrating card. It's going to be very hard to get around this. So he attacks my Lever. Lever's going to take the damage, to take the hit, get sent to the graveyard. Namek also played Yangzing Path, which allowed him to get more resources by recycling monsters into his deck. So I'm going to have to try and make something happen now. If I don't make something happen now, then it's never going to happen really. I've managed to draw into Magaline. Magaline is a searcher. When you normal summon it, she searches out my MADOLCHE. Normally I would summon Angeli or Fuel from there, or maybe another Magaline. So let's try and see what we can do. I've really got to get rid of skill drain first though. None of my effects can really activate while skill drain's on the field. Okay, maybe I'm going to just turtle for a bit. Maybe I'll just see if I can buy my time and draw things out for a little longer. Over to the next turn now. He summons out Suwani, Fire of the Yangzing. One of the stronger Yangzings. It's a bit of a beat stick for them. It still has the effect of special summoning monsters when it's destroyed, but it does a nice little bit of damage. And now he destroys Magaline, and that's going to be sent to the graveyard. Now Beals is going to activate. He's going to attack directly, doing 3k damage to me. And now it ends his turn. And unfortunately, I drew into Magaline again. That's kind of the issues with MADOLCHE'S. You've got to kind of get around their recycling effects, because you don't want things like that to happen. Because I'm not drawing into any more options, because I'm just making my deck thicker and thicker. But yep, not really too much I can do. Not really many options I have here. I can't really use my extra deck because of skill drain. I could try destroying it with MST, but knowing Namek, he's probably got another copy of skill drain ready right there, or something else that's going to be able to negate my monster effects. I believe he runs 3 Fiendish Chain and 3 skill drain, which is not many other decks can really do that, which is quite unique about the Yangzings. Other decks that do that typically are either too slow, where they don't need their monster effects on the field, or they lose their effects by having skill drain out. So I summon that Hoot Cake. Not really quite sure what I'm going to be able to do here. I'm not going to be able to summon anything. I'm going to try and use Hoot Cake's effect and then see if I can maybe bait something out from Namek, see if I can chain to it with MST and destroy skill drain in the process, and maybe then Hook Kick will be able to activate. It's not really a good idea, to be honest with you. Nah. It's not gonna work really. So, end my turn. It's such a shame. I feel like I can beat this deck. I definitely really feel like I can beat Namek's Yangtze deck, but with a deck which I'm just deck testing, not necessarily the case. Oh, here's that combo I was talking about. Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness can destroy one monster that's on your field to summon itself from a graveyard, and then when he destroys a Yangtze, he gets to trigger its effect by doing so. I think Suwani actually special summons a monster from the graveyard, maybe? No. Swani's going to get one from the deck. I'm not sure how he summoned that Chewin then. Maybe Chewin has its own effect when it can special summon itself when a Yangtze is destroyed. Or something like that. But, yeah, no. I really have not got any options to kind of stop this kind of play. But it's really, really fun to see Namek still playing. Really great, really fun guy. He's a very humble guy and always sends really good messages out. I just wish I could have given him more of a challenge, you know? But, wasn't to be. Not for today, at least. He summons that Blood Me Fist. Yeah, not really a whole lot I can do. I mean, I could try and stall this out a little bit longer, but we'll see. Blood Me Fist is an old school card, an old synchro. I think its only effect is that it does 300 damage in the end phase of the turn. Yangtze Path is going to do some more shuffling for him. Put more monsters in his deck, but then he gets to draw 2. And yeah, no, he's probably going to attack directly, set one more card on the field. I have no way to really come back from this. None whatsoever. But it's a shame. I really feel like I could beat this deck. Even with this MADOLCHE deck, if I was just a bit more prepared, and I knew how to play the deck a bit better, I even think I could make it work. But, I need to test this deck out more. I need to really, really try this out more. But good games to you, Namek 1979. Really fun playing against you. Am I really going to try playing Forbidden Lance? Am I really seriously still going to stall this out more? I guess I am. So, I've got 300 life points left. Namek's going to end this turn. And now, in the start of my phase, I'm going to take some burn damage. Thanks to Me Fist. Good games to you, Namek 1979. Good to see you around again, dude. And yeah, let's get into testing out MADOLCHE'S more. Ah.